This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised. This program.
Good afternoon, everybody. A very warm welcome to the Masai Mara in Kenya. We are sitting here with the sausage tree pride of lions and lots and lots and lots of little cubs. So today's a very special day for so many reasons, because you are all joining us, of course. So let's give a very big welcome to Diamond Springs Elementary, Providence Elementary and Black River Elementary. Welcome to your Sunset Safari. And it is International Women's Day, so make sure you go home to your moms and your sisters and your aunties and all the wonderful women that you know and say Happy International Women's Day. So we have been spending the last little while here with all these little cubs. I hope you can see them all. They've been playing, they've been wrestling, they've been tossing and tumbling. And you can see them all playing. So, this is your safari, so you're going to ask us questions. So my name is Lauren, I have Manu on camera, and just ask your, you can hear them? Just ask your teacher some questions and I will do my very best to answer them. You can hear the lions making all their little noises of play. There was a big storm before and there was lots and lots of rain, and once the rain cleared, all the lions came out to play. Now Faith is asking a question, but I just missed that, so don't worry, I will get it repeated, Faith, and I will answer your question. But as I was saying, once the rain cleared, all these little lions came out. They were wet and they got much drier now, so the sun is starting to peek out, so thank goodness for that. And they will be looking for their dinner very, very soon. It has been a really horrible day, so when we first met them, they were actually hiding under a tree trying to get a little bit drier. Now Faith was asking about the lifespan of a lion. So lions generally live approximately from 10 to 14 years old. It's not very old, is it? Now there has been some record of older lions at 16 or even 18 years old, but generally, lions will live to the ages between 10 and 14 years old. So this is called a pride of lions. There's lots of lionesses here and many, many cubs just bounding about. I think we counted 9 cubs earlier. So that's a lot of cubs to keep up with and watch them tumbling and tossing each other around. Some of them are very young. We have different ages of cubs, and then some of them are just that little bit older. Now they're all related. I hope you heard that, boys and girls. I think that bigger one was a little bit too rough there on the little lion. Probably doesn't know its own strength. So cute, isn't it? And this slightly bigger lion has actually, this little cub has actually been sneezing just before you joined us. It can't stop sneezing. So Zaria's asking, how do baby lions sleep well? I think that was your question. We are surrounded by the howling winds at the moment. I'm not sure if you can hear that, boys and girls, but it's not a good day weather-wise. So when the cubs are very, very small, the mother will actually keep them hidden in a den. She will protect them in a little den, which will be a mound with lots of different holes where the little cubs can actually sleep and be protected from any potential danger out here. So it's just a mound like this, and she'll keep them in there for about 6 weeks until they get a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger, and then she will bring them out to like the little cubs we are seeing now. Then they're always protected by the pride. So the mothers will always try and protect them and ensure that they sleep well. They'll all sleep. This one's trying to jump on the adult's back. Look at that. No, it's just play. It's just trying to get a little piggyback, like I'm sure we all get piggybacks when we're younger. And it's probably trying to annoy this adult female by jumping on her. So yes, they normally huddle up into little groups to keep warm and shelter themselves from their wind. And that is how they sleep well out here. Now we actually have a male lion over there as well. It's a big male, and you can tell that it's a male straight away from the mane. Look at that big dark mane. Oh, Susanna's asking a good question. How do lions attack other animals and hunt? Well, what a tricky question to be asked. They normally cooperate, so lions can hunt alone, but they generally tend to do it together. So they will unfortunately ambush other animals. So if you can see here, the grass is actually very tall. I don't know if it looks tall or not, but it is. It's actually sometimes difficult to see the cubs because it's much taller in them. And they actually hide in amongst the grass and they surprise their prey. So they jump out at them and their prey does get a fright, and that is how they hunt. Lions are very strong and powerful, and they can actually run very fast, just not for a very long time. And you can see here these little cubs are playing, which means they're getting stronger and stronger each day, getting stronger muscles, and they're learning how to run and how to pounce and how to jump on things. So even though they're having lots and lots of fun, and it does look like a lot of fun, they're also learning important things for when they get older in life. You can see this one is chewing at the grass here. Shaya's asking, what do lions eat? Do they eat grass? No, they don't eat grass. Lions are not herbivores, they are carnivores. They're one of the top hunters out here in the Masai Mara, and they do eat other animals, I'm afraid. And the other animals will include buffalo, or maybe some antelope species like a topi, or a impala, or any of the sort of antelope species that we get out here. The lions will eat them. Some animals eat grass and vegetation, and they are called herbivores, and some animals eat other animals, and they are carnivores. So our lions here are most definitely carnivores, and that's why they have big sharp teeth. Oh, wonderful questions you're asking me this afternoon, everybody. Keep them coming, and I will do my best to try and answer them. Now, the cubs have settled down a little bit. They've been running around for the past hour, maybe. So it's possible they are getting a little bit tired now. Cosette is asking, why do cubs play? Well, that's just the same as why any of us play, why children play, why adults play. They actually have a lot of fun. But in doing so, they're learning how to be a proper lion. So when they're born, they need a lot of protection and guidance from the mothers, but they're slowly learning how to be a proper lion, how to get bigger and stronger and faster, and how to jump and how to eat. They have to learn these things. They don't know it as soon as they're born. So that's why they play. They play for a lot of reasons, but number one, fun. They have a lot of fun. I'm sure you all have fun when you play too. And of course they have lots of energy. They need to get rid of all this energy they have, or they would never sleep at night time. Oh, this one's having a little bit of a cuddle. We've got two female lionesses here and a younger cub having a cuddle. So you can see these two cubs that are playing now, they're different ages, and you can see that in their coloration and their size. So they're both young, but they're different ages. And all the mothers are always nearby. Oh, the male lion's got up now. He's having a nice stretch. So someone's asking, do cubs play as much as lion cubs play. I'm not sure who asked that, but yes, lots of animals play. Baby leopards will play, baby monkeys will play, baby antelope will play, and oh, that was from Emma. And yes, they do, and it's even been proven that fish enjoy play. Can you believe that, boys and girls? Fish in the ocean, oh, they love to play. So see this lion, what he's doing there? He's smelling the air around him by opening his mouth like this. Looks a bit strange. He's actually smelling the air around him to see what's going on. He's just woken up from quite a deep nap, and he's trying to get a sense of what is happening around him by opening his mouth like that and smelling. Look at that. That is a big male lion. There's also many females here. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adult females that we can see, but there's probably more. Conroy is asking, what is the biggest animal I've ever seen? Oh, well, out here in Kenya, in Namara, it is probably the African elephant. They are huge, wonderful, beautiful animals, and of course they are the biggest land mammal and the biggest animal that we will see out here. We do also see giraffes as well, which are very, very tall. When I was flying in here on an aeroplane, they looked like trees from the distance. That's how tall they were. But in the ocean, I have been swimming with humpback whales, and they are also very, very, very big. They made me feel very small. So in the ocean, it's definitely the humpback whale, but out here it would be the elephant. And I am not a very big person, so everything seems much bigger in comparison to me. But what a great question. Now these lions are probably going to play for a little bit longer, but they're all watching the male. They're having a little bit of a look to see what this male lion's going to get up to. And you see how his mane, all that hair around his head, is very, very dark. That means he's a very, very strong and dominant male. He's very powerful. The darker the hair there, the more stronger a male he is. And all the females here are just watching him, wondering exactly what this male lion is going to do. So you're able to see male lions, female lions, young lions. We have the whole pride here. Zaria is asking, how fast do lions run? Do they move faster than this? Yes, of course they move faster than this. Right now they're just very, very relaxed. I think they are having a little bit of a snack somewhere, and yes, they're just walking. Lions get extremely active at night time, so they get a lot more energy at night time when it's cooler, because it can get very hot out here. So they can run up to 40 kilometers per hour. So they can go very fast, but they can't stay very fast for very long. So they're not long distance runners, but they can save all their energy, and when they're ready they can go extremely fast and chase after things. But right now they do look a bit lazy, don't they? They do look like they're not actually doing much at the moment, but I can assure you when these lions are ready to go, they will get up and they will go very, very fast. Austin's asking, what's the fastest animal I've ever seen? Well, I'm going to be very honest with you, and I actually encountered a cheetah only 2 days ago. It was the first cheetah I've ever seen in the wild, and it was with Manu. We both had an amazing sighting with a male cheetah, and that is definitely the fastest animal I've ever seen. They can run incredibly fast because they are designed for speed. So lions are not really designed for speed, they have more power. So cheetahs can definitely run much more faster than lions. So great question, and I only saw this cheetah about 2 days ago, and it was a very, very awesome moment for me. Now you can see the mummy lions here are always keeping a little eye on where their babies are. It's not easy to keep track of these young ones with all that energy, but they're always making sure that they're nearby, they haven't wandered too far off, and that they're safe, of course. Now, this is the first time we've got a good view of these little cubs in a while. This pride has been quite tricky for us to find because we've had lots of bad weather conditions, unfortunately, and we haven't had any success at finding them, but we managed to find them for you today on International Women's Day. How great is that? Mrs. Kaza's asking, why is the male on his own and not playing with the females and the cubs? Well, that's a very interesting question. Males don't always stay with the females. So sometimes male lions will stay with their coalition. The males will stick together and the females will stick together. But you find the male lions around the female lions if they are mating with the females or if they are the father of the cubs. So these lions are most likely going to eat together and feed together right now. So he's not interested in playing. He's probably hunted all night or roamed around all night, and he's catching up on his much needed sleep during the day. So the cubs will probably annoy him from time to time, to be honest, but he will be feeding with this pride. So he will come along. I think he just needs some personal space sometimes. But not all the females will welcome every male. The females are very protective over their pride and very protective over their young ones. So only males that they know they will be comfortable with. If it was an unknown male that they've maybe never seen before, they would not be very welcoming to him. Look at these cubs still go. They're just like little puppies or little kittens, aren't they? Colin's asking, why do the male lion have manes? The cubs don't have manes. Yes, the mane only develops when the male lion, it's only the male lion, when he gets much, much older will he start to develop a mane. And it starts off very short and it looks a bit strange in the young males, and then when he reaches between maybe about 5 years, he becomes much stronger and ready to be a proper male lion, and that's when his mane will get much, much longer. And they think that the purpose of the mane is mostly to attract the female lions. So the female lions, they will say, oh, that's a very nice mane. I am going to hang out with this male today. And the darker they are, the more dominant and stronger that man is said to be. I have Emma saying it would be funny if the male lions had different mane hairstyles, or maybe even if they dyed them like we dye our hair. Maybe some could have pink, some could have blue, some could have short and spiky, some could have long with a little ponytail. Imagine that. That would be funny. Of course, that's not how it works, but it does get longer and much, much bigger as the lion gets older. Not all lions actually grow manes. There's some maneless lions out there, but generally the males do grow them once they get older. Tristan's asking how many lions are in the reserve. I'm not sure I can even answer that, Tristan. This is a big area that we're in here right now, and there's many, many different prides that we know of, and also different coalitions. So we know of many groups of females and many groups of males. And sometimes we encounter some lions that are unknown. We don't recognize them, or we haven't really seen them before. So there could be many, many different lions that we're really not aware of. So in answer to your question, Tristan, there's a lot, but I can't actually give you a number. It's a large area, and there's also no fences or nothing blocking the lions from moving. So they could actually just decide to get up and just wander off somewhere else if they really, really wanted to. But generally, lions have what we call territories, and that means they have a specific area that they tend to stay in, and they will look after this territory and they will patrol this territory, like this area that you're looking at right now, this beautiful area with the escarpment and the trees and the grass. This is where this pride is normally found, and this pride, of course, is called the Sausage Tree Pride. So sometimes we call this area the Sausage Republic. Zaya's asking, how is the weather? It is so green. Well, generally the weather here at the moment has been very, very mixed. So it's quite chilly in the morning. I always wear my scarf and my jacket. But then once the sun starts to come up, it gets very, very hot. So hot. But then in late afternoon, the rains come. There's been lots and lots of rain recently, including today. You might not believe it because the skies are nice and blue right now. But there was so much rain, and that is why it is so lush and green here. And all these lions were very wet when we first came across them, these soggy sausages. But they are, of course, a lot drier now. They've given themselves a shake, ran in the grass, and of course they get rid of the water once they go like that, and of course they'll just get rid of all that water and they will eventually dry off. And the wind is very, very strong, and that's also helping them to dry off a little bit as well. So I do apologize, boys and girls. There is other people that want to say hello, but at the minute we're having some internet issues. Can you believe it? So you're stuck with me for now, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm sure you don't want to see me. I'm sure you want to see these gorgeous lions that are beside me. So as soon as we fix all these internet issues, which we will make sure you get to say hello to the other people down in South Africa, which is a different country from where I am now. It's a lot further south. I think the weather is a lot warmer down there as well, which I'm slightly jealous of, and it is rather cold here. Oh, got this lioness on the move. Noah's asking a very tricky question. My goodness, how am I going to answer this? What is the smallest animal I've ever seen? Well, there's such a different variety of animals, isn't there? Even insects, fish, coral, all these different things are classified as animals. Even the tiniest little shrimps in the ocean, or the tiniest pieces of plankton that you probably can't even see, are actually all animals. So Noah, that is very tricky. You've got me here. I was able to answer all the other questions, but not this one. So these cubs are actually quite big to some of the insects and some of the things that we have in the ocean. So the smallest animal I've ever seen is probably a microscopic piece of plankton. There you go. I bet you didn't expect me to say that, Noah. But these cubs are very small, of course. Yeah, they're very young and they're very tiny compared to the adult. And you can see they're just, oh, all the adults are taking a look around. They're always listening, always looking for what's going on around them. Olivia's asking, how am I working here as a safari guide? Well, what an interesting question. I'm actually a lot older than I look, would you believe it? And I decided to study animals from a very, very young age. I went to university and I studied zoology, and then I went on to study the oceans. So I love both land and the oceans. I did a master's and many, many other studies on both land and the ocean. And I worked in the ocean for a little while, and then I decided it was time to shake, get rid of my mermaid tail, grow some legs, and come on land. And I just love sharing the animals and the wildlife with you all. That's why I'm here, so you can see exactly what I'm seeing right now, as almost if you're on the back of my vehicle, and you can ask me any questions you like about the lions or anything else. You can try and trick me out as well, like Noah almost did, and see if I can answer them all. And that's how I got here, and that's why I'm here. Eyes is asking, where do something get water? The wind is howling. Was it the lions? Yes, Manu's nodding. Where do the lions get water? Well, we actually just witnessed them drinking out a puddle. There's puddles everywhere around here, and I just saw them drinking out of that. So they will just find a little puddle or a little water hole and they will have a drink of water. But they don't need to drink as much as we do because they get a lot of their water consumption from the food that they eat. So the different animals they eat also provides some of the food. But they do drink water, and we very often see them drinking up from dirty, muddy puddles. And one of the lioness, I think it's this one here that's just got up, she's got a very sore leg. She must have hurt herself, and it's her front left leg. She's got a little bit of a limp. But she's still with the Pride. The Pride do still look after her. She's not left behind. So I don't quite know what happened, but she's definitely got a painful left front leg. But she's still with them, and I'm sure that they do still look after her. She might not be able to run as fast as the others though, so she probably won't really be able to make her own kills, but I'm sure the other lionesses do look after her. Now this little cub here, I'm not sure if Manu can get it, you're probably only going to be able to see its ears, is actually suckling. So this is how it gets its food and its water. It gets it from its mother. You can see this little cub trying to get milk from its mother. The male lion has spotted something in the distance here. They're all looking off into the distance. Now, someone is asking how long do lions sleep for. I'm sorry, I'm terrible. Emma will repeat that name for me. I'm just watching what's going on in front of me. There's lots of noises and alert lions. I'm just trying to see exactly what they're looking at. Mia, that's it. How long do lions sleep for? So they're said to sleep for up to 20 hours per day. Now, if you think there's only 24 hours in one day, that is a long part of the day that lions are said to sleep for. But that's not always the case, actually. Lions can be very sleepy during the day, especially when it's hot and they've got full bellies. They just want to rest. But actually, lions can be a lot more active and spend a lot of the night walking around, hunting, moving from place to place, and they can actually be active during the day as well. So they do say, Mia, 20 hours a day they sleep for, but I'm not sure that's always correct. But they do like their cat naps. I also like my cat naps. Lions are the kings and queens of the cat naps. Now, of course, hunting and just being a lion, being a mother, will actually take up a lot of energy. So that is indeed why they need to sleep. They need to rest. They need to recover, just like we do. I know that I definitely cannot survive without my sleep, that's for sure. I love to sleep. But I'm definitely not as active as these lions are. But I still need my rest, boys and girls. So the male lion has actually walked away into the distance. No idea where he's heading. Can't see where he's off to. But the females are just watching him. Oh, he's actually running. I'm just going to have a little look with my binoculars and see where this male lion is off to. Oh, he's running after something. So unfortunately, we're not able to get you a view of this male lion running. But he did run at quite a speed. So that's what all these other lions are looking at. If you have a look at them, they're all facing the same direction. They're all having a look and saying, where is he going? Cosette is asking, how far do lions walk? That's a tricky one to answer. Maybe you have really snookered me here. It really depends on the situation, but it is known that lions can walk very far during the night. Throughout the night when they're roaming, they can walk far. But as I mentioned, generally lions tend to have territories. So they do tend to stay in the same basic area, which can be much larger or much smaller depending on where it is. So I don't know exactly how far they walk, but they can walk very far. They don't always stay in the same place, which is what actually makes it a little bit tricky to see them, because sometimes they will move and then you can't find them. But here right now they're probably going to stay in this area for a little while. So I've been trying to think of a question that I could possibly trick you guys with. Now you've been asking me lots and lots of questions, so let me see if I can think of a question to ask you. I'm thinking I want to win. I want to trick you all. But here we go. Maybe this one will do. How many days do you think an adult lioness, a female lioness, how many days do you think she is pregnant for? How many days do you think it takes before we see the little cubs? I think that's a good enough question. Let's see if any of you can answer in terms of days, how long it takes before we see the little cubs from the mummy lions. Hopefully some of you will get it right. Or maybe not, and then I can win. You can see those little cubs here are now what we call suckling. So they're very young. They're getting all their food and their water from the mother. Now remember you were asking me what lions eat and where they get their water from. Well, this is how the cubs eat, and this is where they get their water from. They get it all from their mother. Now calm down a little bit, and they're probably really hungry. Okay, it's asking how hot and how cold does it get in Africa? My goodness. In terms of actual temperatures, it gets very, very hot. Now, they work on different systems, so it can get up to 85 degrees Celsius. So maybe you can help me out and tell me exactly what that is in terms of Fahrenheit. I'm not very good at converting between Celsius and Fahrenheit, but anyway, it gets very, very, very hot. So hot sometimes that you don't actually want to go outside. So I do believe we're having a little bit of breakup, and I do apologise for this. It could be the weather. It's very, very windy. I'm not sure if you can see from all the hair blowing across my face, but it is very, very windy. So I'm sorry if you are getting a bit of breakup, but the lions are loving the wind. So I did say that it gets very, very hot, maybe about 45 degrees Celsius, I think. Really not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. And this is why I am wrapped up right now. So I'm wearing many, many layers. I have my warm fleece on here that keeps me in. I have this, and this is called a shuka. And this is a Kenyan article of clothing. It's very beautiful, and it does remind me just a little bit of the country that I'm from, which is called Scotland. We have tartan. Now, it's not tartan, but it just reminds me of that. So this is why I am wearing it, because it's definitely not hot right now. It's not 45 degrees Celsius right now. It's very, very chilly from the storm and the wind. So Africa is very mixed. You will get some seasons that are very, very hot, but you will also get some seasons that can be very cold. And if you're like me, boys and girls, I like it hot. What was that question, Emma? I have no idea what she did say. She did say something to me. I have a little earpiece in, and that's how I get all the information, and that is how I get your questions. But unfortunately, I talk too much. Oh, an answer from Black River Elementary. 5 days. So you think that the little cubs are inside the mother's tummy for 5 days. Not quite, but very good guess, Black River Elementary. Very, very good, but it's not quite the correct answer I was looking for. Now, I can see the male lion is coming back. So who knows what he went off to do, but he will join us back. Oh, Alison's saying 19 days. Also not correct. A little bit more than that. Let's up the numbers. I'm hoping that someone will get it right. I don't really want to win this competition. Ooh. winds are very, very, very strong. Can you hear the wind, boys and girls? So Zaria's saying 21 days, which will be 3 weeks. Nope, a little bit more than that as well. But good guesses, everyone. The last week, the babies in the tummy for a little bit. Not human babies, but a little bit longer. But I'm very impressed with the guesses. So windy. The lions don't seem to mind at all. They seem to prefer the temperatures. Sometimes when it's too hot, a lion is very uncomfortable. They don't like it. It becomes so hot that they need to escape the heat, and will very, very often do whatever they can to lie in the shade and avoid the sun at all costs. This is when it gets too hot. They're really enjoying the cool temperatures at the moment, and that wind. Definitely enjoying it more than I am, that is for sure. I am cold weather, even although I come from a very cold country. You can see there is some dark clouds ahead, just away off in the distance. Some clouds coming in, so we're in for a rainy day. So I do believe the wind, the horrible nasty wind, is causing our signal to break up a little bit. So if that is happening, I do apologise. We are sorry. We're out here in the wilderness trying to show you all these things. So sometimes signal, internet, weather don't always mix. Sometimes it goes a little bit wrong, but that is nature. So if it is happening, boys and girls, I am really sorry. Stay with us, and of course we'll fix it. I need to make sure you get an answer to my question. Now, I spoke earlier about lions being carnivores. They eat meat, they eat other animals, and they are the largest carnivore in Africa. And remember, I already answered that question, but they are in fact the largest carnivore. They are very, very, very strong. Males can actually weigh up to 200 kilograms. Now that is about nearly 400 pounds almost. So they can be very, very heavy animals. Lots of muscles. Very, very tall. They're not very tall though. A lion can get tall. I think they reach about 1.2 meters. Now, let me convert this. Probably about 3.5 feet tall. So unfortunately, Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to your Sunset Safari, your live Sunset Safari. My name is Lauren, and I do have the fabulous Manu on camera. Now, we have just had to leave the Sausage Tree Pride. I am terribly sorry if you missed them. We were on school drive, so I hope some of you did actually join us for that, and you got to see the wonderful little cubs of the Sausage Tree Pride. Now, I have just pulled over because we are driving in a very tricky situation. And I'm having to use all my focus to navigate these giant puddles that you're actually seeing in front of you at the moment, or I will end up like Patrick. So that is why I did stop the car just to say hello. Now please talk to us, use the hashtag SafariLive and talk to us on Twitter or YouTube. And I am going to try and drive now, so I am going to be concentrating very, very hard because I need to find the exact same track that we came in on. So I'm just going to follow these tracks ahead of us. You might be able to see them. That is exactly how it works in the Masai Mara. There's lots of rules and lots of regulations. You are allowed to off-road for the big cats, but you must use the tracks that are already there or the tracks that you have put in on. So that is why I'm concentrating, and of course I'm sliding around in the puddle. So I really hope you all got to see the Sausage Tree Pride. Patrick actually found them this morning. I'm not going to take the credit for it. He managed to find them, and obviously he told us the location during a storm. It was absolutely pouring down. It was cold and cold. We tried to come quite for some time, actually even able to see the cubs, and then all of a sudden the rain cleared, the skies cleared, and these little fluff balls just bounded out of nowhere. It was adorable. Ah! Oh goodness me, don't slide, Lauren. Okay, this is fun. Isn't it really fun? So, this is how it happens, people. You saw it first hand. You saw it get stuck there, and I believe Emma's laughing in my ear. This must be high amusing to people. Let's have a look. This situation cannot be as bad as I'm thinking it is right now. Matt, what do you think of this current situation we're in? Yeah, he's back up. It's fine. Okay, you're all while this is happening. So just up. Okay, we're moving. Okay, this is good. Please do not anybody call me Marshmallow Queen just because you're only able to be Marshmallow Queen, or you're only able to join the club when you I'm not established yet. Oh no, this is so amusing. Mason will never get. Are going to throw you to tech loop, and it's not because of the driving or my car situation and stuff. It is due to signal and technical issues. So stay with us. We will be right back. blows off, I did not get stuck. It was a momentarily temporary thing that just happened and I got out. And no, Manu didn't help me get out. I did it all by myself. So I just wanted to make that really obvious before I drove. We do have some lovely elephants in the distance. And of course, we apologize about all the technical difficulties. The weather here in the Mara. Oh, was that lightning? I think it was. The weather here in the Mara is really not being very kind to us, especially after we found the sausages after such a long time. You know how hard both Pat and I have been trying to fight them for you. We have a and they actually have a huge buffalo kill, but unfortunately to quite film it because it was school drive, and we also weren't able to. My hat's going to do it because the signals apologise. I'm going to keep driving. Oh, we've got some ham outside. Well, sorry. Hello. What did they say when the hammer crossed the road? That's actually a joke. I don't know if you can hear the wind howling, but it's literally moving the vehicle from side to side, so it's not a great day weather-wise, and I'm not sure what's happening down in Juma. So going back to Happy International Women's Day, make sure you give some love to your daughters, your sisters, your aunties, your cousins, your friends. Let's celebrate the women's today. Now, the bird is getting blown about by the wind as well. Just blown sideways once when it can be easy being out here for the animals when weather is like that. I can't imagine it's very pleasant either. And when we did first... Oh, how they was looking at some food, serving the conditions. Oh, I think it got a little lucky there. And of course, they're all getting, and it's quite lightweight, so it really is getting swept with them. One of my favourite birds. I do to see them quite a lot here in Mara. We don't see them so much down in Juma. People down in Juma waiting to see you, waiting to say hello, but of course it's not possible to tell it. So I'm going to go ahead, I just think we'll get a little goodbye to this little hammer cop here. Oh, there we go. Off with the wind, as they say. So, what an entertaining so far. Almost got my marshmallow, but and we have to leave those sausages. I don't know why they make it so difficult for us, but they do. So, just some updates like driving. Of course, it's not up and running yet, but we would all appreciate the updates. First, cheetah. We saw with the help of James Richard himself. I thank endlessly. We did actually manage to identify that male, and it was a male called Moogie, who is known, and he was born in 2014, which would make him sort of around the 5-year mark. And that's exactly who it was. So he hasn't been seen, I believe, in quite a while. I think 2 years, and that was the first time he's been sighted again. So that's who he was, just in case anyone was wondering. And the hyena mothers have been identified as well, with the help of the hyena research team, who weren't sure exactly who the mother of the cubs were. And by us being there, we managed to figure it out. Now, the mothers were Remington, who has 2 cubs, 2 of those tiny little cubs, and the other one was Smooth Criminal. Don't ask me about the name, which I know you're all thinking, because I really don't know, but let's go with Crim for short. I think that's what the nickname is, Crim. So Remy and Crim were the 2 mothers of the hyena cubs. And I'm sure she is a smooth criminal. I think it is along the lines of Michael Jackson songs, I believe, was where they were going with this. But yes, let's stick with Crim. But Emma just said Smoothie. Actually, Smoothie's a lot better, isn't it? Smoothie the hyena. So that's who they all were. I always like to update you once I get more information. So the cheetah was Moogie, and the hyena mothers were Remington and Smoothie Criminal. It's rather chilly. Apparently the weather app is saying it's a lot warmer here than it is. Do not believe the weather app. It's very chilly. girl is saying thank you for the follow-up. You are so welcome. It's not... I did try to identify the mothers, but looking at your phone and the sun, it wasn't so easy. So I did send all the photos that I took to the researchers, and they managed to positively identify them for me, which is just great. So we're really getting somewhere with this North Clan. Just want to spend a little bit more time there to try and see if we can really see Waffles. I just want to see how her behaviour is these days, not being the matriarch. I'd love to just see exactly how she is and how she behaves. And of course, I haven't seen Soup yet. And Soup is the matriarch. So it's just a case of spending a little bit more time there and starting to learn exactly who everybody is. And of course, you guys are along for the journey. And Patrick actually managed to spot 2 cheetah as well in an area of signal. Yes, bringing live wildlife to you is the most amazing thing I have ever done, but it is a little bit tricky when you're battling the elements. We still come out, and of course these technical evil gremlins that like to come along and ruin the fun for everyone. But you know, we have a huge of technical support. Awesome. And you will ever are often able to solve the problem. The evil gremlins can go away back to their little dens somewhere, wherever they come from. Imagine these little, they're green for me for some reason. Little green monsters that live in little dens. They're evil. So there are a little bit challenging moments today, but we are getting there. I'm repeating myself. I do hope that you guys were able to see the sausages and the little. It was funny, Manu and I were talking earlier about the word chipolatas and this word for small sausages. It's a sausage tree, and they were very soggy sausages today, trust me. Obviously we've nicknamed the little ones the chipolatas, small little sausages. In Scotland, we actually call very, very small sausages, I don't know, the cocktail sausages, we call them cocktail sausages on a stick. You just ask for some wheelie winkies. So I don't think that's going to work with calling the cubs wee willy winkies. I don't think they would appreciate that very much. So we'll maybe stick to the chipolatas. But it brings my face on this extremely full and challenging day. We may, oh look at, shall we just give you a view of what is ahead of us? Now our camp is in this direction, way at the end and up high, so we're just going to give you a view of what's ahead of us. I think Lauren is asking how these researchers, and yes I have, and they're wonderful people, fantastic, and as long as we are there and we are seeing things on a daily basis and obviously taking photos, I will continue to update them on what I see and my folks, because I'm a firm believer that everyone needs to work together. On this whirl of information, so it wouldn't actually and they're awesome because the favourite animal is my favourite animal. So yes, Lauren, the hyena researchers. I think we're getting a little bit break up again. There is, it could be due to the wind, who knows what it's actually down to. So I'm just going to keep rising right for now and see if we can get into a little bit of easier signal patch. It was probably because I stopped to show you how bad the weather was, but that's where we're driving. We're driving right into the storm. So fun times. Are you ready for it? He loves my driving. Thinks I'm the best driver of the whole team. So unfortunately we are going to have to send you all into that universe called Tech Loop that we all hate because we are having a little bit of difficulty. But I promise you we will try and be back as soon as we can. Everyone, I do apologise profusely for the difficulties that we have been having. Very sorry about sending you into that alternate universe called Tech Loop. I'm all up for parallel universes, but that one is not one we want to go to. So I'm very, very sorry about that. We have also got our rain covers on. It's raining. Yeah, the rain has hit, so unfortunately, it's just a tricky day all round, to be honest, and I do apologise. At least we did manage to see the lions earlier, of course. Now, it is clearer. We're heading in the direction of our camp, and it's looking a lot clearer. So thank goodness I wasn't really too excited about driving towards the storm. So hopefully Juma will be up and running soon. Again, I have no idea what has happened down there, but either way, for the time being, the Gremlins have won. So you can still send in your comments and questions, even although not much is happening as we drive about in the rain. I can try to at least answer some of the questions that you might have. So some people has been asking if I have been visiting the natal den. Now actually Manu showed me where that was the other day. We actually drove past it and I haven't properly visited it yet. There's actually a lot of dens around here. We did visit, as you know, the Happy Zebra clan. There's actually another clan called the South clan that are a breakaway group from the North clan that I would really like to just go and take a visit. There's so many, to be honest. There's also the Olololo clan. So we've been spending most of our time with the North clan because, of course, Miss Patterson herself, the queen of the hyenas, did get very into the North clan, and we really started to understand who is who and the dynamic. So, of course, her passion rubbed off on me somewhere along the lines, and I am determined to sort of get back into it. So, no, in answer to questions, I haven't been to the natal den yet, but there's still plenty of time for that. Being the Doom, of course, you expect and there's just so much to see, so much happening everywhere. Even on a day like this, believe it or not, the animals are still there. There's still things happening. It's just impossible sometimes to actually stick to the original plan. So for one thing, I will make a point for all of you to visit that natal den. My next drive with you. I will do that for all of you so we can check in. But there is a huge number of hyenas here. I don't know if it would even be possible for the researchers to actually, keep an eye on every one of them. It's a lot. Now, it's not the easiest to see out my window, so bear with me. I don't want to crash or get stuck. Rosalind's for the animal. How do you get this? They just very and adaptive to their environment. So, really, while the storm was at its worst, let's just stop right. Let's just covers down and have a couple of just that. Off in the distance, looked like a snake eagle actually, and it was just trying to get through the torrential downpour. It was huddled up, trying to kept making spares now and then. It was absolutely going, and it couldn't fly anywhere. The rain was far too heavy, so we watched that for quite some time. I think Manu got of it, and of course the images. They were just lying, just waiting the storm out. They were soaking and and once the rain cleared, they were up. The cubs came in the air out as winds and flew off. Just very resilient and adaptable. You remember, this is all they know. So they had heat that we the torrential lightning. They're all used to it. Just as they know they had to handle each of the conditions. Really not. We were having a look at one of the lions, where even the Limpy Lou has this very lip on her front left foreleg. was very, very deep. So I believe we're having some breakup. I'm not sure whether to support drive forward. Let me just see if it's any if I stop. Maybe Emma can tell me if that's a little bit better. I hope so. I can just continue driving. So I will continue driving. Hopefully it does get better. I hope we don't have any more breakups. Yeah, I was telling you about Limpy Lou. It's quite a severe limp. I couldn't see any injury. If it's been a broken leg that hasn't healed properly, it looks very internal. It looks very painful, and she doesn't walk very well at all. But you know what? It got me thinking, animals just adapt. Humans, every human perspective, I do believe animals that behave. They just adapt. Now, I have a beagle at the moment, as many of you know, but I had a beagle prior to her. And she got very large. There was tumor on her leg. So we made the decision as a family to remove her leg to try and prolong her life. It's a very difficult decision for us. We did it, and it did prolong her life. But she was 3-legged. I'll never forget this. She woke up from coming out of, the sort of that she's been in after the operation, and she let out one yelp, one very blood-piercing yelp, and after that she was absolutely fine. She was a bit sore, but she just adapted from going to having 4 she just animals do. So I've stopped because apparently the signal is again. Information from Emma that this is a little bit better. I'm more than happy to tell you that story. Why else you wait on better? Yes, there is weather. You're getting a great view of what we're facing now. And the elephants seem to be enjoying it. Something when it's slightly cooler and they're out of that hot sun. So you can see it. We're talking about adaptability and environmental conditions. And you can see the elephants are not bothered at all. So unfortunately, we're going to send you back to that evil alternate universe of Tech Loop as we are still struggling with signal. Once again, I apologise. Please stay with us. We will hopefully be back to you very soon. Dear Safari Live family, I am very apologetic about everything that has happened. Unfortunately, everything has gone against us today. Weather, technical difficulties, gremlins, the whole lot has hit us. So unfortunately, we are going to have to wrap up the drive early today. But for those of you who didn't manage to see the sausages, we did actually do a special broadcast on Facebook. So go check it out on Safari Live's Facebook page and you will at least get to see the sausages and their wee willy winkies. So Manu's going to give you one last glorious look at the lovely weather we are facing. And again, we do apologise profusely. Sometimes it doesn't always necessarily work in my favour. And for anybody who missed that wonderful story about my three-legged dog, I'm more than happy to tell it again. No, all jokes apart, unfortunately, there was nothing we could do. And everyone in Juma was waiting to say hi. And I believe Mr. Chingana was even waiting to say hi. But we will resolve all of this. We will be back tomorrow morning, of course, as usual, for the sunrise safari. And, of course, hopefully Mr. Chingana will stick around and hopefully the weather will clear. So Chan is saying it's all good. It's all good. Thank you. It just is hard when you come all the way out here and you want to show everybody everything. But unfortunately, there are just so many things against you. But we did try and we do appreciate those who jumped on board and that you can forgive us. And, of course, save all those questions and comments for tomorrow. So I'll be back. So every good night or good morning, wherever you are.